That was gone. That's gone, John. John, why was my childhood killed? Could you speak so everyone could hear you?
The Flash is just so fucking bad.
This is so bad that this made you want to watch Resident Evil: The Final Chapter, and it made me. Before you share, so let me put the thumbnail on. This made me want to go watch Dragon Ball Evolution, which everyone should know as an anime fan. I hate with a burning passion. You know that. How does this film drive us to the point where we want to go watch the very films we hate, just to wash this taste out of our mouth? How do you do that?
And they
How?
say James Gunn's qualified. You have a guy that does space movies
By the way,
in
anybody
charge
who
of this.
says James Gunn did not use it was not using anything from his Guardians of the Galaxy, get your foot out of your ass.
Even though he didn't direct the movie, this movie has his influence.
No, there's fingerprints everywhere. There's fingerprints everywhere. Remember, Stupid Barry. Stupid Barry. And
Yeah.
you know what makes it worse? They use the the women to share this around Discord and them because
They tried to
they,
use Supergirl on us.
they use Supergirl because I'm at having a mental breakdown at one point during this movie, trying to explain spaghetti time travel logic. And when I think about it, that's a spit into the face of anybody who's got a brain. Because the term spaghetti logic is used to call you stupid. And Michael
Yup.
Keaton, and the only reason that worked was because it was Michael Keaton explaining it using a piece of spaghetti. And then, just like you see in the thumbnail, they killed my childhood. Stupid Barry killed my childhood. He took something I love. I listen, did that. And by the way, this will be loaded with spoilers. I don't care. My mind was broken. Everyone, spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. I will spoil this movie to hell and back. Because James Gunn needs to be fired. Please fire James Gunn. John, if the world can hear you, I mean, I don't know if they can. Just, just,
Yeah.
just, just, just. You need to talk too, because you watched it twice. This man, John, somehow suffered it twice, because he first watched when I felt was doing something. So this time, he had to watch it twice, but he could enjoy it because I'm sitting here chimping out the whole time. And yes, I called myself a chimp. I was literally going crazy.
This movie fucked your subconscious.
It messed with me on such a big scale, I can't even think of it. You drove me to Twitter to tweet how bad. How do you drive me? If our friend, if your John Garrett pops in here, John Garrett, how you know how I despise Twitter? How did you drive me to Twitter to write that Dragon Ball Evolution is a 10 out of 10 compared to this garbage movie? And John, you probably would have written if you had not been as irrational as me that you would probably think Resident Evil: The Final Chapter is a 10 out of 10 compared to this.
I'd rather watch the Resident Evil live action movies than this.
It drove me to want to watch the live action movies of Dragon Ball. And look, everyone, you accuse if there are any James Gunn defenders out there, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You feminist, why aren't you up in arms? Feminist, they did the thing you hate. They used Supergirl for eye candy. So John, so someone like me
Hey,
who's
I didn't
intellect.
fall for it.
Well, I almost fell for it because I was having such a meltdown trying to
Yeah,
explain.
you were like, cause like trying to put eye candy to put a girl in a tight suit. Don't get me wrong, I would watch if it was a Supergirl movie that was done right with that actress, no problem. But you can't trick me.
You, you, I was so irrationally not thinking about this, everyone. I fell for the very trick that James Gunn designed you to do. And this is again another problem with James Gunn. He sabotages this movie multiple times. He uses Supergirl to make you men think with your dicks and not with your heads because you're in Migraine City. That if that's not insulting, I don't know what
Practically.
is. I don't know what it is. Feminists, why aren't you in it? And I'm not promoting feminism. I'm just saying. But this is the very thing you scream against that he did. And then Supergirl, and I don't know why. Why was I so mind broken that I was actually trying to think? Because you did the same thing. You made me try to think that Supergirl somehow could not have had powers. John, just tell the audience I fell for that trap. That happened to me.
He almost fell for the trap.
How bad was it that I fell for this trap that bad? How bad? Because that boy,
You were literally, like, it took you a second.
And when I realized what had happened, I got more mad. Oh, everyone, guess what? You see on the thumbnail? Yeah, your childhood is violated. James Gunn went so far out of his way to even show you before Stupid Berry. Oh, wait, don't get me before we get to validate. We're going to differentiate.
The two berries.
There's one called Smart Berry, and there's one called Stupid Berry. Stupid Berry will spoil what Stupid Berry is, because Stupid Berry is my main crux of this. Because how do you direct the actor? Because I thought I didn't have any directing. How do you direct him to make you hate the film? That means you somehow had good acting, good direction, but that's not good direction. That's making you hate an actor and ruin his career. That's not... That's even sabotaging an actor's career, isn't it? John, talk.
I mean, sabotaging whose career?
The guy who played Barry, because he made them be hated.
I mean, Ezra Miller. Here's the thing: people are trying to justify the movie, saying, "Oh, you guys are just doing this because of Ezra's controversies." No, it's called separate the art from the artist. Can movies not suck anymore?
No, but the thing is, he purposely directed Esmeralda, the guy who played Flash, to be hated. And that's saying something, James Gunn. Because Esmeralda, when he's given the role of Stupid Barry, pulls Stupid Barry off, because apparently he can listen to directions. But why would you listen to directions as an actor? I would put my foot down like, you're intentionally making me want to kill my career, James Gunn. Why? Why
they
should I
killed
listen?
they killed your childhood, Keo.
And I would have put my foot down like, why are you making a stupid version? Oh, everyone, guess what? They spit in your face even on a subliminal scale. They replaced Marty McFly. They spit on. Tell them the Back to the Future. Back to the Future.
In the alternate timeline that Barry goes to, everything we know about pop culture is just fucked.
What did they do to Back to the Future? Well, I like future time travel. This is another insult to injury. Because you don't use Back to the Future references like that. You specifically call out Back to the Future, the very first one. Who'd they replace him with?
Yeah. I forgot what actor they said, because then when he says Kevin Bacon Footloose, he says, no, that was Val Kilmer. What?
So Kevin Bacon
and then he plays the... Yeah, they say basically Kevin Bacon switches the roles
with Michael Fox
to play in Top Gun. No, in Top Gun.
Oh.
And you enjoy Top Gun, so they fucked your movie.
They messed with multiple movies in this movie. And the thing is, you could go, well, Kioma, that's just a joke. No, it's still in the movie. That means that was written in the script. That wasn't impromptu. That was written in the script.
Mm-hmm.
The way you introduced Michael Keaton was so stupid, but at the same time, it just works because I wanted to kill Barry. But it's sad because the Barry I don't want to get abused gets abused. Explain that scene.
That's the only scene that you was actually somewhat with, that was seeing Keaton fucking fighting everybody in that kitchen.
Explain that, because when I realized who was getting beat. Well, just explain to some people that context while I'm trying to...
Barry with the smart... But the thing, since Barry fucked all that up anyway, can we even say he's smart, Barry?
No, because I just have to say Smart Barry was using his brain. Because remember, Stupid Barry was so stupid, I was getting mad. Smart Barry at least didn't make me mad. Okay? He made me mad multiple times, but he didn't make me mad as his stupid counterpart.
And you can't just rely on one character.
Look,
you can't rely on Keaton to carry the movie.
Smart Barry didn't butch the bat suit. That was Stupid Barry. So explain the Michael Keaton concept that made me laugh, because I feel
No,
bad for Smart
you
Barry.
know the spaghetti theory more than I do.
No, I meant in the kitchen when how he got his ass beat when they introduced Michael Keaton.
Oh yeah, Michael Keaton still sneaks in. You know, he's Batman. Of course he's gonna sneak in undetected, but then he beats the fuck out of Barry, who loses his powers for a short. Like mainline Barry loses his powers for like a short while, but then stupid Barry got powers. And what do you say that is not supposed to happen in any circumstance of time travel?
You're not supposed to meet
Induce
yourself. Even Ben Affleck went out of his way to say that. And he says he does the very thing Ben Affleck says you don't do in time travel. They ruined the grandfather theory, but just explain the beating getting stupid. Why stupid Barry makes it? Why smart Barry?
Stupid Barry, come and find out he's Savitar.
And listen to this. By that very logic, that ruins your movie because Sabotage's two different people, if I recall right. Like you had to point that out. Zoom.
They merged Dark Flash with Zoom.
And do you know what Zoom, Dark Flash, or Stupid Barry did? He did the very thing Boz from Fallout 3 says don't do. What the definition of insanity is. He went insane because he did the same thing over and over again. The definition of insanity. What? I'm sorry, what? If Voss had magically appeared on the TV screen, if
Voss, but the funny thing is, you know Voss is Scorpion in the MCU.
But no, if Voss had magically appeared on the screen and said, "Do you know what the definition of insanity is?"
I wouldn't have been surprised.
Okay, let's not forget Zod. Zod, Man of Steel. Regardless of what you say about Man of Steel, we're going to get to Superman. Superman will be covered in this because they did every Superman dirty. And this is speaking from a guy who comes from the hometown of Superman, and I don't like Superman that much, and I feel he was violated. How do you make me, the guy who doesn't like Superman, feel bad for Superman? The actors. How? How?
And there's people trying to justify those cameos. No, there's no justification.
Black Phantom.
You know what their example is using? They're using Rogue One.
Black Phantom, do not watch this movie. It kills your childhood. It drove me insane. Okay, go. I just had to tell Black Phantom. What's the logic they're using with the Superman?
Huh?
You were saying something. What was the logic you were screaming at before I had to address them? What's the logic?
Wait, which logic?
There is no logic. We're trying to explain spaghetti logic, and the thing is, spaghetti logic is even used in this. Michael Keaton.
You're the only person that's able to explain that shitty logic to me.
And it doesn't work that way either, because you point out a massive flaw. I'm like, mother crapper. They didn't even. You can't do even that version of time travel that way, because every form of time travel they use. No, a snap wouldn't even help. Because guess what, Black Phantom? Spoil it. There can be no snap now.
Now,
What did
wait,
James
which part?
Gunn do? What did James Gunn do that makes it impossible now? What did they kill?
They killed which movie?
What was the big at the Crux's Nexus point when what did Stupid Barry do to all the worlds? The multiverse.
Merge them into one.
So everyone, that means by definition, list off them. I'm going to list off the ones I like, and you'll list them off. That means Batman movies with Christian Bale are dead. That means the new, well, they didn't reference it. That means the Ben Affleck one, which I didn't see, is dead. That means Aquaman's dead. They even say Aquaman's dead in this. The Cyborg
He's not
is
even
dead.
born.
Well, whatever. He is dead. That means they even referenced, because you saw it, that means they even erased the good DCU animated movies. Teen Titans is dead. Everything's okay, now you go. List off the films, because I'm listing off the ones I think. List off what they killed. Because
The fucking opening. Yes, even Kevin Conroy's Batman.
all of them. They showed the Adam West one. Adam West makes it. Oh my god. They killed Heath Ledger too. You heard Heath Ledger, or you did.
They erased the Dark Knight.
What was the line he said?
And here we go.
Uh... I was too busy being traumatized by the spiders to notice that. And that's already bad enough that you used the scrapped concept of the Nicolas Cage movie with a spider.
Yeah, they used one of the concepts from the canceled Nicolas Cage movie as
Which,
the cameo from that canceled film.
Nicolas Cage, why would you agree to have your face put in this horrible
He
movie?
didn't.
What? They did
Come
that.
and find out, apparently none of these cameos were approved.
I'm not even going to get into the fact that at the very beginning of the movie, Batman looks like some bad 360 game costume. The Ben Affleck one. That's the Ben Affleck one, right? He's so ugly, he looks like he's from a 360 game.
They gave him Adam West colors for his bat suit during the day.
Oh, everyone, guess what? This is what happened in Michael Keaton's verse, and they spit in Michael Keaton's verse even. Gotham, after the Joker incident, is the safest place on on Earth.
Yeah, which is impossible.
No. That's the only way that can happen. And everyone, I did watch Comic Story to explain all the Batman things, even multiverse. There's two ways: Kingdom Come, where Bruce Wayne became a complete dictator, put all those Iron Batman suits or something in it, or where Bruce Wayne
basically
became
his
the
own
Punisher.
version of the Iron Legion,
or where Bruce Wayne became the Punisher. Those are the only two times Gotham has been remotely Haven-like, and that's not good. That's literally a dictatorship. That's still bad. So no.
and the arguments I'm seeing are from people and these are strawman arguments saying that, oh, these people are talking about the Flash, they don't know the comics. I'm like, none of this was the fucking comics.
They're spitting not only the comics, but the movies. It did both. Because they reference your comics in this, people. They bring up the animated show. How was another Flashpoint happen during a Flashpoint?
Yeah, it was like there was like a Nexus Flashpoint already happening.
Because they're doing the New 52 Flashpoint thing from the animated movies. Because what you heard, I don't know. I was too busy being traumatized. They wanted. That's another thing. That means they wanted to get rid of the New 52. So comic people, they spit in your face. So, how do we not know comics if they spit in the New 52? Which, it doesn't exist anymore, but still, they spit in that comic series. I know the New 52 is not liked. I just like the animated movies. But they even spit in the animated movies. What were some of the movies that were shown in that freaking... Oh, okay, because for one, combining all the multiverses wouldn't have worked that way, because you know why? Stuff should have happened that would have made worse. Combining that many things would have made the sun so big, it would have killed everything. It doesn't work that way. And guess what? They even spit on you further at the end of the film. Barry loses his tooth.
Oh, yeah.
Barry loses his tooth, making you think, because George Clooney shows up, that he's going to have to go
hold on real quick. Flashpoint was supposed to be Thomas Wayne being Batman. But no, they still went ahead and did Bruce Wayne. A different Bruce Wayne.
So Flashpoint, they reference Flashpoint. Everyone. Well, how can you reference the New 52 Flashpoint while a Flashpoint is happening? Wait, we forgot to mention this. How did they do Flashpoint in this movie? And even I found this dumb. John, you're going to have to say it. I'm already ranting. How did they do Flashpoint? How did the Flash learn Flashpoint?
This is the only plot points they took from the Flash. The death of Barry Allen's mother.
No,
and
how did he do the trick? How did he do Flashpoint that you found you can't do that in the comics? Flash isn't supposed to be able to pull Flashpoint that way.
He needs the cosmic treadmill.
What did they do to pull Flashpoint? Come on,
All
come
he
on.
did was just run normally
And
and ran in place.
and here's the stupid thing. He was just running normally because he was running from a normal place of his past, not because of trauma. No, he was just running. And that activates flashpoint. What? I'm sorry.
Oh,
They even showed the Adam West, the other Flash that has the tinfoil thing on his head. Did you see that?
yep.
Hi, Keith. We're talking about how horrible this movie is. Did you know this movie drove me to go have to tweet on Twitter?
Keo
And
returned to Twitter briefly because of how bad that movie was.
this movie made John want to go watch Resident Evil 6.
And that's something I don't ever want to do.
This movie made me want to watch Dragon Ball Evolution. Keith.
This is the Dragon Ball evolution of the DC universe. Let's just call it what it is.
It's so bad. You can't save it. You're riding on Michael Keaton and nostalgia, but yet you spit on the very nostalgia you're trying to use. Multiple times. I'm not gonna forget the spaghetti logic. I feel offended by that. Because during that, I actually tried to say, well, the time to, but then I realized after I slept, he used spaghetti logic, the very term I was actually saying you don't use, as a prompt. So it's spaghetti logic, which is usually an actual derogatory term for people that study time travel, by the way, and to use people that are stupid. We say you use spaghetti logic.
He's banking on people's idiocy.
That
pretty much.
Tell Keith what they did with Supergirl. That's a violation to every Latino. You even said that. Come on, I fell for the trap.
Trying to use a Latina Supergirl, which really wouldn't. The logic of how she's even here doesn't make sense.
No. Why was she put in there? I even
She's
told
eye
you.
candy.
Yep, to make you not think of how bad this movie is. What does that say about a director that he uses a woman for eye candy to make you stop thinking?
He's banking on your stupidity.
And he already did it.
Gunn is a hack.
And by the way, for those who said he was not going to use any Guardians of the Galaxy. Bull.
Or any, like, his style. Yes. Even though he didn't direct the film, you could tell the heavy influence was here.
No, the fight. Explain the fight. It was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, during a fight scene, a Kryptonian fight scene, you're playing rock music of some kind.
And you're not talking. You're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, where they don't talk. They just run around. You know what I mean? Fighting and usually doing jokes. You had Stupid Barry making jokes during a very serious moment. Who does that in the MCU? I could have sworn a certain star does that. And a raccoon. What are they called? I can't remember their names. What are those characters called in the MCU, John?
What? Which ones?
That using Guardians of the Galaxy. A raccoon and a guy that has the name Star or something? What
Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord.
So they used Rocket and Star-Lord as Barry humor in that scene. Because remember, he's talking to Stupid Barry and Smart Barry. And they're literally Rocket and Star-Lord during a rock and roll scene.
This movie was basically, it confirms everyone's fears. DC going forward is a Marvel 2.0.
No, it's worse.
It's not going to be a separate, I'd rather watch the bad MCU films. Or at least the bad, with the ones that are bad than this.
This movie, you're sick. This movie induced another fever on you.
I felt worse after watching this fucking movie.
No, it gave you an actual fever, remember? A legitimate...
Yeah, my fever came back after that fucking movie was done.
What does that
And then I fell asleep for 6.5 hours.
What? And I fell into a hard coma after I got it. Oh my god. everything. The time travel doesn't make sense. Meeting yourself doesn't make sense. You do that multiple times. Oh, and then you want to do if you meet yourself, but you have to kill yourself to a degree for you to erase yourself from existence. And that's not even the stupid Barry that does that. That's... What's his name?
Regular Barry.
No, the stupid Barry's futuristic self who did the insanity thing.
Oh, you mean, Savitar.
Savitar kills Stupid Barry, who in himself is Savitar, because he can't get over because he wants to... He fell for the eye candy trick of Supergirl. That's even more insulting, because that means Stupid Barry literally did what the audience was trying to do. Actually fell for. Do you see how insulting this movie is, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 oh, Black Phantom, don't get me started on the time traveling rules, please don't, this had me have made me question myself, my very sanity.
Now, while I do this puzzle, you explain the spaghetti theory, because I have to focus at this part.
I need props, John. The spaghetti theory they use is like one act, time is a singular line. Okay, it's always a singular line. Barry, smart Barry, thought with a singular line, if he goes to one event, which, by the way, do you know what caused all this? A can of tomato soup. A tomato soup can is why this whole film exists. And if I don't know, if any of you like tomato soup, I'm sorry, anybody who likes tomatoes. They even make fun of you liking tomatoes by using tomato soup to make spaghetti. But time, singular line, okay? In a way, Barry thought because it's a singular line, you could go to one event and change it. But he went too far back, not thinking that there was going to be a chaos butterfly theory effect. Yes, they throw the butterfly theory effect in here even. They throw, James Gunn cannot write time travel any form of inconsistency, because any form they could have created consistent goes out the window. Like the Michael Keaton one, I said, okay, if he went to the Michael Keaton verse, the reason there's no superheroes, but they throw this out because Supergirl exists. Okay, this is the problem. Was because I said maybe we went to the Michael Keaton theory because they stopped. He went there in a time because the timeline because we don't know what happened to Michael Keaton after the end of the Batman movie. So you have that entire, you're banking on Michael Keaton's verse, literally. And then you go so far as to say, well, guess what, everyone? The Michael Keaton verse is a dead timeline. It's a dead future. Meaning all possible divergence points from that one divergence line, if we were to go string multi-theory, are all dead timelines. That timeline is a dead timeline. And this is me trying to explain regular time travel theory in stupid time travel done wrong. What I'm saying doesn't justify it, because they don't even follow this time travel.
It makes Terminator time travel look like God.
It makes all the remake ones. No, Terminator 2 was consistent. I don't give a crap what you say. Terminator 1 and 2 was consistent.
No, I'm not saying that. You know, you're right. It is. And as much as people dislike 3, 3 was also consistent of what happened. It's like, if you can't stop a major event, you can postpone the major event, and it'll still happen, but it gave them more time to prepare.
But no, the other ones, you're right. Except Salvation.
No,
Salvation,
because remember, the official timeline is the real timeline here. You know this. T1, T2, T3, and Salvation.
Mm-hmm. Because when you throw in everything else, it doesn't make sense. Wait, does the Sarah Connor Chronicles show that got canceled count? Because they reference that in Salvation. Never mind, I'm gonna pretend that never existed because I just remembered that because I'm so mad. That even says it. The real cost is everyone's sanity. Exactly, Keith. This movie cost me and John sanity. And we're actually logical people. I went in this with a fairly open mind after seeing John literally break his chair. I almost broke my bookshelves. John saw this. John, didn't I almost break my bookshelves? And my entire bookshelf collection. On how mad I was. John, talk.
Yep.
It caused me to...
You almost Jeffrey Dahmered your chair.
And my bookshelf. My bookshelf. You know the bookshelf where I have all... You know...
All the stuff at? Yep.
I almost threw my video games at my wall. Because I was that mad. This movie drove me that insane. I see why you almost whacked your chair with your own sword. I shouldn't have even laughed at that because that's just a bad in general. Oh, he died in Genesis. Oh God, we're not even talking about.
No,
Oh,
you mean Dark Fate.
oh,
He died in
oh.
Dark Fate, not
See, that's
Genesis.
we're
Well,
the Black
he got
Panther.
turned into a Terminator in Genesis.
Black Phantom. We're using the fact that those movies, though even that bad time travel, is more consistent than this, and that's bad time travel. The T3, T1, T3, and T1, T2, T3, and Salvation are consistent. Genesis and was it Black Fate or Dark Fate?
Dark Fate. Yeah.
Dark Fate
But
are
those fucking
inconsistent,
movies had a yeah.
but they're inconsistent. But they at least try. They do a better job at this than this movie. I'm sorry. You even destroyed the multiverse. So by that logic, James Gunn, you can't use the Elseworlds. If the multiverse is
Well, come and
destroyed,
find out the Joker movie, the two because Joker's getting a sequel. It shall come out, I think, next year. Then the Batman are Elseworlds. I already know why they're going to use the Elseworlds excuse. The Elseworlds are where you're going to get good movies. The
but
main
look,
continuity is going to suck ass.
here's the problem. You can't use Elseworlds because those are different multiverse. He killed the multiverse. All timelines, all verses are dead. So, James Gunn, you really did screw over the Elseworlds because they shouldn't exist. Anybody with a brain when it knows an Elseworld is a different timeline or a different universe. In this one, Barry Allen kills all of that. And somehow creates a singular timeline that doesn't even make sense in itself. Because it became he created a time paradox timeline. Because you know what they do? At the very end of the movie, he loses his tooth. Which hints that he may be human again.
Oh, my brother! Die!
Which means the whole film was like a spit in the face. It, does anybody see that logic here? James Gunn created a film that in all intents and purposes is a middle finger to any film geek because you make fun of Footloose and Back to the Future. The Marty McFly references that he uses even are spit in the face at. Correct, John? John, you really
Yep.
need to speak. You really need to speak some because you're more geekdom on this. I'm only going on how bad the
No,
film
the
is.
thing is, here's the thing. How do you have a show, even though some of the later seasons were not as great as the first two, maybe three of The Flash? The Flash had 9 consistent seasons. And they didn't even cameo the guy from the show that people actually like him, or they didn't plan to cast him to be the mainline Flash.
Wait. What, didn't you just hear my one normie friend tell it to you that that doesn't make sense and shouldn't work and was stupid? Please explain
Wait,
that.
which part?
That my one friend who hasn't seen the movie, when I told him that, he said,
Yeah,
using
your
that
buddy in the
concept.
background even said it was dumb. And he's a casual.
So John James Gunn literally spit in the face of Robert Pattinson redeeming himself on the Twilight Curse. Joaquin
Yep.
Phoenix. Oh, guess what? You know what he goes out of his way to do to please people? Hey, I don't care if that right now, Retro. Don't even bring
Yeah,
that
we're
up.
talking about the Flash movie, Retro.
Retro, you can talk about that. Else, that does not even count. No drama. None of that. None. I'm here to have fun and rant on a bad movie. Because this is so bad. They spit on other people's movies. I don't know how you got the license to spit on Footloose and Marty McFly. Why would you even do that? You also erased in this continuity, so you try to make it so that Jason Momoa and Aquaman doesn't get us, and Wonder Woman's old? And a circus
Woo.
performer?
Mm-hmm.
You saw that, right? Wonder Woman is a circus performer and is old. And doesn't have powers. Is that offensive? Because my brain's still trying to justify not justify, but still reprocess itself on what could be considered offensive and non-offensive. John, help me out here.
Yeah.
What all was offensive here? Because I'm basically the one talking here. I need some other talking. I know you're playing Dark Knight, the Arkham Knight, to try to erase this trauma from your brain, and I'm having to
Okay,
be,
what part you need me to explain thoroughly? I'll try to do it.
any, any of this. I've been explaining multiple things. Just
Okay, I'm gonna
rant,
give a brief.
rant.
I'm gonna give a brief rundown. The moment the movie starts, the first action sequence out of anything
Oh, the baby's in the
is
microwave.
a building breaking down, and the Flash puts a baby in a microwave.
And let me add this one thing. When he puts the baby in the microwave and he saves the woman, he tells the woman, "You're gonna need mental health for the help for the rest of your life."
Yeah.
What? Okay, continue. The baby in the
It's
microwave.
like-
Because and also the baby shouldn't be alive because the microwave got cooked.
Kinda, yeah. And they play too heavily. I get the Flash has a fast metabolism and he has to constantly keep eating in order to keep his. But have him do that before the action so his body is already pumped to go. The only thing that quite literally fucking entertained me a little bit was Keaton's action sequence in the Russian base.
Wait, but didn't the Michael Keaton beating up Stupid Barry entertain you like it did me at least?
It kind of did the first time. Then after I seen it, I was like, nah, I don't
'Cause you
want to
realized
see
what they were
Bruce doing the fighting. Yeah.
I was too busy laughing when Stupid Barry was getting beat up by. I mean, Smart Barry was getting beat up by Michael Keaton. But I even felt bad for Smart Barry.
Such a man.
I'm just. It's like the movie is not memorable at all. We only remember the stupid parts because there was no good parts.
Wait, let's get to Supergirl.
They forced the
Explain
emotion.
Supergirl.
Okay, if everyone remembers Man of Steel, when Clark first found the Kryptonian ship, it was confirmed that Supergirl's pod was open, so she was been gone. So how in the fuck, when the time shifts, here's the thing, it comes to predetermined points. You can't change, just because you change someone's fate, it wouldn't affect the predetermined point of Superman being able to escape. So without showing it, Zod, after the time travel,
No,
Zod
John
was
Garrett.
somehow
Oh, wait, go
able
ahead.
to kill Superman.
John, read John Garrett's comment.
Well, no, he's kind of not wrong. They were trying to turn it into a Batman film because it's why they. How come they never get Batman wrong? Oh, I bet you anything if they got Batman wrong, just like they did in Batman Forever. Ooh!
Wait. Oh, that's right. Tell them the reason why George Clooney appeared. This is a spit in the face because you wanted to forget
That wasn't
about
even
that
George Clooney.
What?
You know that, right? That was CGI.
I thought that
This
was George
movie should have
Clooney.
been called The CGI.
You mean they spit on the face of Christopher Reeves and all the others?
Because whether you here's the look, whether people like Batman Forever or not, you can't deny one thing about George Clooney. The motherfucker is charming.
Or you were talking about Val Kilmer in Batman Forever.
Well, no, Batman and Robin, my bad.
Batman and Robin
Yeah.
is the one he liked, which is considered the worst one because I'm Mr. Christmas. You know, the
No,
Arnold
James
Schwarzenegger-
Gunn likes Batman and Robin, which is the worst one. Yeah.
I know they photoshopped.
Yep, he
his
said it
face-
right there. Garrett said the same thing. That's exactly what it was. They photoshopped George Clooney onto Keaton's body because there's behind the scenes that proves that that was Keaton's clothes. Keaton was wearing those clothes in the scene.
Oh. And what makes it worse is Barry says, "I just talked to you," and that's not you.
And he flat out said, "Who the fuck is this?"
And then his tooth falls, and he's like, "Oh shit." Because guess what? Regardless of what you think, he didn't fix it. He didn't just let his mom die. He created another paradox because he changed the camera.
Yep.
Oh, everyone.
Right now, I'm actually debating on not doing the Quarry for my birthday, and I might just take on the Arkham trilogy this summer.
Oh, everyone loves the Arkham trilogy. I love the Arkham trilogy. That's a great thing to talk about. Because then
And you know, Ben Affleck's movie, his canceled movie was going to be Arkham Asylum.
Can we rant on what they did to Cyborg? They did Cyborg super dirty.
They erased everyone from existence. But that doesn't make sense because they confirmed Jason Momoa is still going to be Aquaman in a rebooted DCU, so he's not even born. How the fuck's he going to exist?
But that's the Michael Keaton timeline, John. Remember? It's
Yeah,
the
oh
Michael...
wait, Phantom, hold on. Yes, Phantom. Ben Affleck in a couple times has said that he might not play a lot of video games, but he loves the Arkham series, and he was taking heavy notes. He wanted to start with a small scale for his first movie. Just lock everything in the asylum. Which would have been fine. It would have been more of a... What is it? Kind of like what the fuck was that movie? Why, Olympus Has Fallen. If you remember Olympus Has Fallen with Gerard Butler, just imagine Olympus Has Fallen, the concept, in Arkham Asylum with Batman and all his villains. Because it would make sense to have his villains in that fucking... Hold on, okay. It would make sense to have all his villains in Arkham Asylum, therefore they don't have to be introduced in individual films. Because then by that point, if they break loose, we know where the fuck they came from. Because Ben Affleck's Batman has already been doing this for 20 years. He locked them all in.
I was trying to answer.
So if this is Arkham Batman, Ben Affleck is not only Batman Returns Batman, he was going to become Arkham Batman. Which, to date, besides Kevin Conroy, and Kevin Conroy voices in the Arkham series. I mean, come on.
Oh, but
you were going to bring Conroy's Batman to life.
They erased Conroy's Batman. Remember, Conroy doesn't exist either. The multiverses are all one big planet.
I forgot, James Gunn wiped out every fucking thing.
Yeah, you're so mad. I keep pointing that out. I want to keep pointing that out because it doesn't make sense. We can't have the Elseworlds by logic.
I got them on my PS5, Black Phantom. Like I got their remastered editions that take advantage of the PS5. They said you don't even need to get an upgrade on the Arkham Knight because it already runs like it's a fucking PS5 game.
There's nothing redeeming on this film because when you try to, they use Supergirl to make you think of your dick and not your head. That's worse. And yes, John Garrett, I think this flopped. Did it? Did it flop, John? Did this movie financially flop yet?
It already did, and they're trying to spin it as it only made 71 million, and the movie is actually I think 220 or 250 million. That is a flop, but they're trying to say lowballing is a success. Then why are there certain movies that don't get sequels for lowball success?
But wasn't there stipulation that James Gunn had to make a certain amount of money for him to get his shit?
Yeah, and guess what? They're still giving him his universe. So
no.
Remember, at WB, you fail up.
Why can't we just pretend like this became like the Snyder Cut? You know, oh, this was a mess up. The Snyder Cut. No, we can't even do a Snyder Cut thing with this. It has the same continuity. You know what they didn't put in there? They didn't reference Birds of Prey. Why? That's bad.
Here's the thing. They didn't erase none of the shitty DC movies, which is fucking stupid. They erased only the good ones.
And how did they get Christian Bale, Nolan North's permission to do that? He said, I want nothing to do with my movies to be put in these timelines.
Yeah, you erase the other Batmans, which includes Bale.
Because you use Heath Ledger's voice, so that means that it automatically includes Bale, whether you want to admit it or not. It is Bale. That's considered his verse. And you messed with the animated shows, which are the only good ones. Does anybody see how much of a travesty this movie is? That me, the time travel guy. Yes, the time travel guy. Cannot even.
And you know time travel, and you couldn't justify none of its time travel.
Because every time I thought I could find something, he fucks it up more.
There was a hole, yeah.
And then when I tried to do it, I saw Supergirl. I'm like, explain why using Supergirl was so evil. Because I was thinking that why you found it evil because who they used. But she wasn't blonde, but what else was offensive to you?
What?
Latino? Please explain that concept, because you yelled
They're using
for that.
a Latina Supergirl.
Please explain to them in detail why that pissed you off.
Oh no, that's all good, Black Phantom. Trust me, I deal with those PC Master Racers all the time. It's like, they feel that nobody can play on other platforms of their fucking choice. It's like an offense to them.
Oh, trust me, we don't want to Phantom. We've got it. Please explain the Latino concept to me, to them. You explained it to me because you were yelling. Come on, John. Release your inner rage. I've had to do it by thinking it. I know you want to yell.
Dude, I burned it out when I was sleeping last night. Because I was
Explain.
just so fucking...
Explain how you're offended at them using the Latino Supergirl.
Because they were just trying to use her as a sexual eye candy. And basically, it's a female version of the Cavill suit. It's like, you want your Superman or Supergirl to be different, but why do you try to align her with Cavill? You're just smacking Cavill fans in the face.
And here's the worst part. They show Henry Cavill. Do you see how much of a travesty this is, John Garrett? If anybody tries to justify this film, oh, you better have some good reasons, because I'm gonna just keep finding plot holes. Like, I don't know how the actor Michael Keaton didn't walk out in filming, because you killed Michael Keaton in one scene. And yet Michael Keaton's death's what makes Barry realize, Smart Barry realize, oh, there are things called dead timelines. Time cannot be completely changed. Which doesn't... You're explaining basically a time paradox, which you created, Barry's.
But then there's people saying, oh, you don't need to do time, the Flashpoint paradox because it only works in animation. I was like, that's a fucking excuse for you just to defend the movie because it can be done. You know how you could do the actual Flashpoint paradox? It would have to be a 2-part film. The first part, the fuck up. The second film, fix it. Easy. Easy.
And you know what's even more funny? The whole Flashpoint problem was it could have been avoided if stupid Barry hadn't kicked Barry while he was originally doing the first Flashpoint thing. So he literally created a double Flashpoint problem. Well, Barry himself, but the dumber version, created, which was whatever that one character's name. That I'm not trying to be offensive, but not remembering. It's just this. Fuck it, this whole movie is offensive. You see how mad we're getting just remembering this film, everyone? This is how bad this is, that if we can't even use remember berries correctly. Because it spits in the face of everything you like. I'm just like, why? Why was this thing approved? And actually, how did WB approve some of that stuff anyway?
Because WB hates money. And their first initial thing is to blame fans. So it's like, you're working in reverse.
The fans are what make your money, so how do you... You've actually pissed off even the fanboys. How do you piss off the diehard fanboys? John, I just gotta ask, how's it...
What?
You heard my casual friend, which would be considered kind of a fetish. You pissed off even someone like that.
Yeah.
James Gunn, you have pissed off every form of even the audience you kind of don't want to piss off, you pissed off.
But he says he's a hardcore Superman fan. I'm like, I'm scared. That's just going to be Superman and the Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, it was. It was. I explained.
No, I'm talking about his standalone Superman movie.
It already did. It's already confirmed it is because when the two Barrys, when you botched my suit. Oh my God,
Yep.
Barry kills. He literally tears apart in front of you to spit on fans. He tears apart the Michael Keaton.
What did he say? Just talking about this, I feel my skin getting hot again, so probably my fever's coming back.
I'm getting a migraine again just talking about this, and we're only 49 minutes.
Go get yourself some Extragen.
I might need some Tylenol or go out and buy me like 5 gallons of Dr. Pepper and just drown me in Dr. Pepper. Or actually buy some liquor to drown my sorrows away. Hell, I might even have to pick up a smoke because this thing literally drove me that insane. Everyone, you don't get this. It drove me to Twitter. You, Soma, were like, no, what's wrong with you, Kyo? Why are you on Twitter? You thought I was joking until you checked your Twitter and saw I actually tweeted something. If that doesn't
I mean, I swear. I fucking swear.
And look,
And you know
everyone,
what's even you know what's a greater offense?
that it was Barry who caused the whole thing. Not just
No, this regards to the Affleck Batman standalone. You know the rumors began, and he might have done it because he looks just like the video game version. What if you had Willem Dafoe playing the Arkham version of the Joker?
They spit on the
Am I wrong? Does he not look like him?
I know. This thing even spits on the animated verse, which I was afraid they would do. But if they do that, that means the one they pick is the one that doesn't make sense, John. And you even said that's the dumbest one to pick of the anime verse.
Yep.
They pick the Eclipso War one, which is actually the funny one when everyone dies. But they picked that one, and they picked the ending, the scene where the Flash in the New 52 does a flashpoint. So by that very logic, isn't the Flash in there Barry Allen anyway?
Huh?
Isn't the Flash in the animated verse Barry Allen?
Yeah.
So Barry Allen in the animated verse is creating a flashpoint while the freaking Barry Allen in the real life verse is doing a flashpoint, which by all logic should just destroy time itself. Everything should be obliterated. Because that means you have multiple flashpoints going on at one time. This was a way to not only erase the New 52 for make people's mouths, because they touched.
You want to know how I felt when this fucking movie ended? Listen to this.
Do what Stephen He. Play just emotional damage. That's what it did to me. Oh, they spit on Asians too. Why did you make the Barry Allen kid version look? That was me. I literally had the Stephen He problem where I just stood there after I almost destroyed my whole setup. John, you almost destroyed your setup after your first watching of this. So I suffered the exact same problem you did. Except the problem was, you didn't get angry this time because you were too busy laughing and pointing at me the whole movie. That was John's saving grace to keeping sane when having to watch this the second time. Because guess what? All the reviewers have said, let me just put this, official reviewers and massive zealotry said you need to watch this 2 times to understand the movie. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's a bullshit lie to make you go pay money to go see a bad film, everyone. Would you agree, John? that you do not need to see this film 2 times. That is a bullshit lie.
I saw it 2 times. Okay.
But you enjoyed it because the second time because I was screaming and breaking down. That's the only way you could tolerate it.
You know what role you'd be perfect for?
You might need to play Voz's definition of insanity.
No, I can't do it.
that would shame Voz.
Yo, Voss's logic makes more sense.
That's why I said that's what the movie was. It was the definition of insanity. Because Stupid Barry does what Voz says. Dude, he time travels again and again and again and again, expecting different results.
What did he say?
But he becomes the what's its face, the one that you're mad about, by doing that, which even doesn't make sense. And they even got rid of the Flash's healing factor. Did you notice that, John? Stupid Barry doesn't have the healing factor.
When he healed when he first got his powers! You saw his back close!
Why do you have a scar on your face? That's still a gaping wound. When it should have closed. And why did your tooth fall out? If you redid time, your tooth shouldn't have fall out, Smart Barry. Your healing factor, it's worse than Wolverine when he lost his. Wait, did I just reference a bad Wolverine Marvel film? Oh, sweet Jesus. The Flash is meant to be like Superman? No, I can't say that, John Garrett. I don't like Superman, and even I found this was a spit to the face to anything Superman related. This was literally James Gunn giving you the... Because they literally took Nicolas Cage. They took the canceled Nicolas Cage. Because John had to tell me this. I was like, wait, did Nicolas Cage actually make a film? No, it's a canceled concept that James Gunn decided to use to spit in the face of all Superman fans on the fact that you didn't get that movie. And he used their footage without their permission, John?
Apparently, because nobody's talking about, like, they're confused why they're... One of the Flashes were confused, like, the Flash from the TV show was confused why he was in it. Like, not one of the actors, one of them that played, because multiple, the Jay Garrick Flash was in the show from the, like, the 30s, 20s, whatever version of the Flash he was from.
Mm-hmm.
They remember he had the tin hat and the lightning bolts on the side of it? And it was the actor from the show, and he's like, I think I would have known if I was in the Flash movie.
No, no, there's nothing. He spits in the face of Christopher Reeves. Why do you, you know, I get mad for disrespecting the dead. You royally desecrated. You desecrated the dead. You know one thing I'm glad that he should have touched to piss off Batman fans? And this is going to sound very evil and zealotry, but I don't really give a shit at this point. You should have touched the good Alfred from the old Batman and Robin things. Made a CGI version of him. Just to make it fair game. Because everyone loves that version of Alfred, too. Just like we love the one from Batman, the Nolan one. Because it seems like Alfred's the only character that can get written right. Living off of yes, Garrett. They brought Christopher Reeve in there and Superwoman, which this makes it bad. I feel bad for brunettes now. That means brunettes are superior to blondes. John, am I correct?
And guess what? The worldwide opening just came out for it only made 130.1 million. That's a loss.
But doesn't that mean didn't James Gunn just disrespect all blondes by saying that brunettes are superior?
Yep.
Where are the feminists? Where are the feminists? I want to know, you stupid feminist woke people, where are you at? You should be screaming the fact that James Gunn used your ideology that you championed against and ruined movies for. He did it for you. Where are you at? I know. You're not here because you're going to get obliterated. Because sane people for once will agree with woke people. Who all did they use in that CGI cutscene that's dead?
Just basically, it was only Christopher Reeves.
What was it,
really?
West? They used the actual West guy.
Adam West. Yeah, because Adam West is dead. I forgot about that. Man.
Yeah, we wanted to. Yeah, that's right. We wanted to forget about that too. There's a lot of things they did in this movie. Like James Gunn just decided to spit on every form of DC fan, whether you're a casual, a non-casual, a comic fan. He spat on it all. I'm amazed he's not being thrown to the wolves by the actual comic writers. Is he? Is he?
Hmm?
Are the comic writers mad at him?
They're not even acknowledging it.
Wait, they're not acknowledging that he
They're not
spat
even
on.
acknowledging the existence of the movie.
Wow, that that's bad. Everyone, stay away from this film. Don't even bother watching it 2 times. It doesn't work. You don't need to. You only need to watch it once. And like I said, the only reason John could endure it a second time is because either he likes pain or he likes seeing me just literally lose my mind. Because I lost my mind. I had to stop the movie and try to explain spaghetti logic, and then I realized after I slept, Mother, you spat in my face for a time travel. You used spaghetti! And that's offensive to anybody that knows time travel. And quantum physics and all that. I am offended when I think about that. So anybody that could try to justify your movie with any form of time travel, you spat in their faces, and that I'd be like, I don't even want to waste my time now. But I'm only having to waste my time explaining this because you're all my viewers, and I don't want you to see this movie because it's so bad. You'll become sick. You might wreck your car in anger. I don't want my viewers to get injured because of James Gunn's stupidity. So everyone, I have suffered this for you. By the way, any other main YouTuber who gave this thing a 7 out of 10, I'm calling you out, Angry Joe. Just go
Because Angry Joe's
find
going
God.
down the woke route.
No. He needs God. He needs God. He needs God. Go. Where's Cypher 77? He needs, what is the Bible? The King James Bible. You need that. All y'all people who like it, you need to find the King James Bible and go question yourselves. It's okay. It's okay. We all need God in our lives at some time. It's okay. Cypher, if you watch this, comment below that let everyone in the world know that they need God. They need God in their life. They need a God. And that's bad when you're getting someone like me who's considered a religious zealot and an atheist person. Hell, I think this movie might have drove Kage to probably go, and he's on break too. Kage might have gone and seek God at the end of this movie if he had to watch it. Would you agree, John?
Mm-hmm.
Kage might actually go into a church and he's the biggest atheist we know. No disrespect, man. I just think you would probably have to go see God, walk in a house of God, and then be set aflame. Do we come across as zealot fanboys, viewers? Like angry fans or something? Or are we actually critiquing a movie that's just bad in general? I have to wonder that. Can anybody tell me if we come in across as too zealot, or if we're just critiquing because something so bad is bad?
It's a good day for fishing.
A little help here, viewers?
Ooh.
Are they getting destroyed since the official numbers were released?
Yep.
Salutations.
What do you have today?
John, are we critiquing the movie, or are we coming across as zealot people?
Well, to normies, we're going to come off as zealots who will rigorously defend any form of entertainment.
Oh, that's definitely true. But you already know normies won't like this because you just talked to somebody. Yes, the Emperor should execute Order 66 on this entire film.
Goodbye.
Goodbye for now.
I will when I'm start feeling relieved.
I don't think you can feel relieved. I want to erase my... I lost 2 hours of my life. You destroyed... See, you even affected real time, James Gunn. How do you do that?
I have to go. Then go in peace.
How do you even hurt people in the real world in real time with your time travel? Because by very logic, I lost time off my life. Son of a gun. James Gunn. You affected us in real life too.
Damn. And you know what's so crazy? They could retroactively, even though they already have a Joker for the Batman. You know, that's just something we can't make a judgment on him because he hasn't been active yet. You could have retroactively tied in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker to be the Batman's villain, like to be the Robert Pattinson Joker. I'm surprised they didn't do that.
But, you know, James Gunn doesn't like the Elseworlds, so he erased them.
No, he can't. Because they're contracted. If he does that,
but,
lawsuits.
But he kind of did. He destroyed the multiverse. And an Elseworld is considered the multiverse. Everyone, if you try to deny it, I'm sorry, that is actually what he did. They show the planets colliding. They literally
They pulled an Injustice 2. And Injustice 2's what's called the multiverse mode.
They literally, well, more like an MK11. Yeah, I said it. You know how every one of you is mad that Liu Kang broke through the multiverse? Well, I'm sorry. James Gunn upped that. And how do you up that? Because at least Liu Kang didn't destroy everything.
Yeah, for real.
And at least Liu Kang punched his reverent self. Which stupid Barry never got punched at all because...
He was worried that he was going to affect himself.
Oh. I don't know what you would call this film. It makes all other pieces of gaming media where people will critique, like I just told you, Liu Kang's time travel retroactive giving you MK1 that everyone's mad
The
about.
Mortal Kombat time travel makes more sense.
And at least it acknowledges if you punch yourself, you cause a massive chain reaction. Well, sorta. It shows, like, when Johnny Cage got shot and got a scar, his other self got a scar. See? That's how you really affect, but no. When Stupid Barry got scarred in the face, other
This
Barry
movie
didn't
is
get
officially
scarred.
the Flush. Okay, there's just no defending it. It's the Flush.
There's no defending anything in this movie. There's nothing good in it. I tried
Only
to find...
Keaton, but that's it. That's like 20% of the movie.
No, not even Keaton. They killed him. Remember?
I know, but I'm talking about the time when he is there.
No, because they literally killed him. Remember he had a death scene? John, you want to watch up and remember. He actually had to have a death scene. Where he talked to young Barry like, you can't change time. So you even spit on Michael Keaton. That's before the CGI thing. Okay, so which is worse? Them spitting on him with an actual death scene, not the plane blowing up, which you blew up my childhood. Sorry. You destroyed my childhood multiple times. And Zod. Can you yell at Zod for a minute? Because even I can't do this.
Because Michael Shannon even said he wasn't fulfilled playing Zod this time around. He said Man of Steel's version was better because you could tell the motive was there.
Can you please explain Zod, why it doesn't make sense? Like, or the excuse
Zod would
give.
have no reason to cut. Here's the thing. Like what I said earlier. You can't change, just by Barry changing one thing, it can't change a predetermined thing. So regardless, Kal-El would have always had the Codex stuff put into his body, not Supergirl, because by the time Krypton blew up, she wasn't even on Krypton, so how does she have the Codex in her body? Hmm?
It doesn't.
Nani-sama shashali shili?
Exactly. She's at home. No, that doesn't even work either, Phantom. You can't change yourself even. That's not even. That doesn't even work too, because Stupid Barry can't even change himself. You can't only change yourself. No, Stupid Barry never changed. He did a boss. And he didn't even fuse with Zoom. Oh. Do you see why we're ranting? We can't find one good thing. Even Michael Keaton, who tried to save it, still spits in the film. And you spit in films like Footloose and Back to the Future. Because nobody got the Marty McFly reference.
Like, seriously.
And that was one of the things I was like, oh my god, he's suffering a Marty McFly. And then you find out James Gunn purposely put a line in there saying, oh yeah, when you alter the universe, you alter other movies. So... I'm not even... Okay, tell them what they did to Cyborg. That was dirty.
All they acknowledged him was a Google search.
And it's not even him in an outfit. It's him that's a football player.
Yeah, before he ends up being Cyborg, but then that still wipes his Cyborg from existence because he'll never be Cyborg, so he might just die in the accident.
And this movie really does promote killing babies.
Or putting babies in danger.
No! He literally stuck a baby in the microwave, and the microwave got lit on fire. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Yet the baby's okay. No! Now, I was yelling at that in the beginning of the film. And mind you, that's the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, like 10-20 minute action sequence.
No, the first 10 minutes into the film I got mad because the baby's in the refrigerator. I mean, in the microwave.
Microwave.
And because, why? Because the baby literally got cooked and the nurse is like, ah! And he's like, oh, don't worry, it's fine. I'm like, no.
Well, that's the thing, because even when the microwave was off, all the heat that was going around should affect the baby.
I know.
Hold on real quick, I gotta use the bathroom.
So, my fellow viewers, are you glad me and John suffered this for you? So you don't have to watch this horrible movie? It doesn't make sense. Supergirl, even John comes back. Supergirl doesn't even make sense at all because for some reason she doesn't have powers, yet she does. Because, like, they pull the red kryptonite, but they shouldn't know about the red kryptonite. Or something like that. And yet, and another thing they pull is, like, she can all of a sudden become combat ready, and Zod can do it, but he's warrior, and that's the way they try to trick you with hello, Killer J. We're sitting here ranting and riffing on how our childhood was killed. It was murdered. Me and John's childhood was murdered by James Gunn. Killer J, so you know, they took the Michael Keaton thing, and the guy who plays Barry literally cuts it up to make the Flash suit. You see him take a knife and cut the Michael Keaton bat, Joe. I just have to ask why. Why was this film allowed? Who was the one who wrote the script? John Garrett, do you know who wrote the script? But you know one thing? You know what James Gunn got one thing right? This is actually sad. You somehow directed the guy who played Barry Allen to be hateable. The stupid Barry. That means you did your job as a director because you directed an actor to be hated. I mean, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, audience. Is that a bad thing that you can literally direct an actor to kill his career? To literally make you hate the act. Christina Hudson. That's who did it, John Garrett? Christina Hudson was the screenwriter? That's who wrote the script? No. No. Thank you, John Garrett. You're the best with finding stuff like this. She was the screenwriter. That means she helped write this bad story. Because those who don't know, when it comes to films, it's not just the director's fault like James Gunn. It's also the screenwriter, because the screenwriters are the ones that write the story. I should know. I like Star Trek, and I blame, even though I don't like it, the guy. The guy who kept messing with the Star Trek films and insisting there was time travel put in it, because he would mess with it. So it's technically, it takes two to tango. The screenwriter is the one that writes the bad script. So this woman, Christina Hudson, probably wrote the script, and James Gunn takes the script and probably was like, well, I'm going to take this script and add more stuff to hate to it. Because the director can add stuff to it on the directing scale. We've kind of seen this with other things. You know, like other ones where they like do improv acting, or that wasn't supposed to be in the script and they just added it because they liked it. I wonder how much impromptu acting was put in this. It makes me wonder. It really does. How much impromptu was put in this movie? So everyone, just this is not only James Gunn's fault now. It is Christina Hudson's fault as the screenwriter. Because that means she also took participation in this desecration of all films and franchises we love. Yeah, Doug Garrett, it's both. It's both. Because that just hit me. So James Gunn literally made you hate the actors. And Christina Hudson literally wrote the script to make you hate them more. So they both... Well, I wonder... You know what? Here's a conspiracy, everyone. A conspiracy. Maybe Christina Hudson wrote a bad script to intentionally sabotage James Gunn's movies. Because he's given a budget like he's supposed to make certain. So maybe if Christina Hutchinson wrote this bad script, made him do it, so he won't make more bad movies. Okay, would that be a good thing if Christina Hutchinson did that? If she made it so James Gunn's career is gone, bye-bye, goodbye? That he can't touch the WB properties? Would anybody like it if Christina Hutchinson wrote this horrible script for that reason? Oh my god, she wrote it for Birds of Prey. That's why Birds of Prey wasn't referenced in it. Okay, Bumblebee doesn't count. Bumblebee was a good movie. A good Transformers film. She wrote Birds of Prey. She wrote Birds of Prey. This woman. I'm at a loss for words that this. I hope Christina Hutchinson sabotaged this movie intentionally to make it so James Gunn can't make any more movies. Is that John in the background coming back? Not you, John Garrett, but the John Kill. If you're there, please say yes. Or if you're watching this from the wherever you're back from, John, you really need to comment and tell me if that was the case. That would be okay. Would you all be glad if she literally sabotaged James Gunn so he can't make more bad movies? I'm just asking. Would anybody be glad if the reason that Christina Hudson wrote this bad movie was so James Gunn can't do it and make any more bad stuff? Because of all the stuff against James Gunn. John, Keith, anybody watching? Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you. At least somebody agrees on that concept. It's still horrible what she did. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's still horrible what she did on the writing thing. It's horrible. It's horrible. That should never happen. You botched everything. I don't care. You still took part in this desecration. But if you wrote this with every intention to destroy James Gunn's career, I might give you just like, you're not 100% completely destroyable. John, of course he would do that. That's fine, John. Everyone in the comment section that are currently watching, with all the ranting me and Emperor John Kill 3D did, or would you bother watching this horrible movie, even bootlegged? Just yes or no. Thank you, Black Phantom. You saved yourself. John Garrett, you? Thank you. Now all of you all have a good day. And this I had to make this kind of podcast because I was so angry at this film, at destroying my childhood, and James Gunn and Christina. Yes, I will make myself some rum with Dr. Pepper. Keith, I will do that. I need to drown myself in that. Drown my sorrows away. But, I'd like to thank Black Phantom, Keith, Killer J, and, well, Retro, I think he created it for a second. All y'all for popping in. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, John Garrett. Well, we don't count Emperor John Kill because he was actually a voice co-host. So yeah, but yeah, he's there. But all y'all stay away from this movie. It will destroy your childhood. If you want to keep your image of Michael Keaton intact, don't watch this. Don't. Absolutely don't. That is my highest recommendation. Don't even bootleg watch this. And if you are, do not watch this movie 2 times because you just already heard John. It said it's not worth it. It doesn't. Watching it 2 times doesn't even help. So I hope you'll have a good day. And please go to Twitter, Tweetland, and roast these 2 people, Christina Hutchins, as we just found out, or Hudson, and James Gunn. I want you all to blast them away into oblivion. Have a nice day, y'all. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you all in the next podcast, probably next week, or this week, or whatever it is, assuming that thing. Later.